yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay, let's get on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome one and all. Today is April 16, 2024, and this is episode 166 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I'm CQ. I am your Pop Culture Warrior, and joining me now is our beloved co-host, the man in the bubble. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Marine with the mouth, Mad Mike! Yay! How you doing, buddy?
You're welcome.
We are welcome as always. We are pleased as punch. He says the mute button. Mute button. What? No mute button. I can see that you don't fuck with me tonight, people. Do not fuck with me tonight. I can see the little volume thing.
Up.
I can see the volume thing is working just fine. Nice try. Nice try. Anyway,
Worst case, we hear each other, whatever.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the show. If you're new here, thanks for stopping on by. And if you're a regular, well, you guys fucking know the deal. You know the deal. You know what it is. We appreciate you guys, as always. We got lots going on tonight. Let's see. We've already got people chatting to us from all over the place. Again, if you're new here, we're live across Facebook, X, YouTube, where is that? Multiple pages of YouTube, multiple pages of Facebook. Where else? X and Twitters. All the other things. The Twitters, the Instagrams. WTF Fake News says, "Wait, what? Huh? Hey, what's going on?" we're live across all the internets, people. All the internets. You're welcome. I'm looking at all the chats coming in. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Glad that you can make it out. It's been a minute. I feel like I've lost a step, just from having taken a couple weeks off. How you doing, Mad Mike? How you doing, bud? It's been a minute.
Good. I'm doing good.
Good.
Had a nice month off. We do one show a month again. Back into our groove.
Back into our rhythm. First of all, do I look more red than usual? I feel like I look more red than I got a little sun this weekend.
Pale. I don't know. You're always just this pale white. I'm always surprised. Like, Jesus Christ. They don't have sun up there.
I got a little sun. I just don't go outside. That's the thing.
That's change that.
You
light
can't
to like a UV, like one of those plant I'm gonna buy you one of those plant lights or whatever.
No, you get one of the ones. You know, you go to the chicken place and they have the counter, the little red light. I need one of
So
those
hot.
to bake me while I'm sitting here, like a tanning bed. No, yeah, I don't go
Your
outside
shirt's
much.
red,
You
but
can't
you're
be the king of pop culture if you're spending time outside. There's no time.
if you get vitamin D, you know.
No
whatever,
time.
man.
There's only one kind of vitamin D I like, and you know which one that one is. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Tonight, what a night. We've got, fingers crossed,
Mad Mike. You're welcome.
Mad Mike in the building. We're going to be joined by guest Orlando Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Orlando Jones is going to be here on the program later tonight. Are you kidding me? That's phenomenal. Super excited for that. This guy is a legend. I mean, he's done it all. I mean, going back to Mad TV, one of my favorite movies, man. Keanu Reeves led The Replacements. He was the wide receiver in The Replacements. He's in American Gods.
Best movie he ever did was freaking Evolution.
Evolution, great one. The dude has done so much. It literally goes without saying. Just he's amazing. He's amazing. Point blank, period. He's amazing. So excited to have him on the show. Ton of questions to ask him. And as always, if you tune in live, you too get to throw in questions into the chat. And we'd love to hear what you want to ask Mr. Orlando Jones when he's here with us live. As a reminder, we are live here every Tuesday night. Pop Culture Warrior here on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. Happy to be so, and now we've kicked it up a notch. We're trying to add more to the Pop Culture Warrior universe by adding. We've been putting some content on Friday nights. We've been doing some tabletop gaming, some video gaming. We did some Lego builds. Just trying to have, it's like a hangout. It's just a cool place to hang out. So check us out Friday nights here on Pop Culture Warrior across all the social medias, including Kick and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch and all the places you can go live. We're live. MySpace. I got to get my MySpace back up and running. So quick shout out to everybody in the chats already. Angry Elf, Heath, what's up? Just chillaxing. What else you got? Scott, hey, how's it going? CQ, the guy who goes upstairs during the day. The sun beams on him through the window and he hisses like a vampire. Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
True story. True story.
Yeah.
Richard Braga, what's up, man? What's up, everybody? And Angry Elf every Tuesday night. So funny. So funny.
One Tuesday a month.
Every
Leading
Tuesday
12
night?
shows a
Question mark.
year.
You be happy with what you get.
Minus the
I almost canceled tonight. You don't know. I almost canceled
Is
tonight.
Orlando really showing up? Because
I might have like emailed yesterday, be like, "Are you sure tomorrow works for you? Is that a good one?" Because I just went. So okay, so true story. True story. I'll let you in on a little secret. As we've been building a brand and networking and whatnot, I've been getting more and more requests for different things.
You have been building a brand.
Yeah.
I just show up.
So we
I
as
just
we
Incredibly
have
handsome.
been
Show up and dash your hopes and
Oh
dreams.
man. So as we've been building and building, I'm getting more invites. So I got an invite to Lionsgate. The company Lionsgate reached out and
They
offered.
still are around?
They're still around. They're still making stuff. Can you not burn any bridges while we're live, please? Do me a solid and don't burn any bridges while we're here. Please. I can and will mute you. So Lionsgate reached out. They said, hey, local to you, we're doing a sneak preview of a movie we have coming out soon. The movie being, what was it called again? The name is just, it kills me.
Gentlemanly Warfare.
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is the name of the
Which is like
movie.
A
And
fancy name for British Special Forces.
yeah,
You-
pretty much.
You go to church it up because you know proper English.
Yes, it's a Guy Ritchie film. Comes out next week, and your boy got passes to see it tonight of all nights. Because of course they're gonna do it on a Tuesday night, right at the time I'm going live. So obviously, I chose you guys. I chose you right there. I chose you, over going to see a movie before anybody else. But in my stead,
because Guy Ritchie doesn't really disappoint.
he doesn't disappoint. But in my stead, I sent, if you're familiar with our other shows, I sent the actual King Smith from the Sports Bar and Nemo, who's kind of been our behind the scenes guy, as well as starting up kind of a co-op gaming thing on Saturday nights. I sent the two of them. So right now they are sitting in that theater watching that movie that I should be watching. But they're going to give us a cool little after action review of the movie afterwards.
I'll do it right now. It was great. It was great. The lights were on. You know, it was flashing bright lights. It was good. Stuff got blown up. It was family. There was family everywhere. I loved it. Loved it. Great movie.
Not enough drifting, though. Not enough drifting, in my opinion.
Drifted some, you know, but it's England. I don't think they drift over there, you know, but it was good. And then, can you guess what that was?
God.
No.
God.
It was okay. They could have used, you know, the grips in the background. They didn't do a fantastic job. You know, it was a lot of loopholes in the script. I would have wrote it better, but you know, it was good.
You know, it goes from Gregory.
Nailed it.
From Gregory, selfless humble brag. If you know me, you know the one thing I do better than anybody is humble brag. Look, I throw up my
the only
shoulder.
one better is like The Rock. And it's just like if CQ had sponsors, he would literally be The Rock. Like, hey guys, need more energy?
I literally tore my
energy drink."
triceps from patting myself on the back so hard. You know, that's what these scars are from. I pat myself on the back so much, I've torn all the muscles in my arms and shoulders. So it's all good. And Angry Elf wants to know, is that Mike's King impression? Yes. Yes, it
was
is.
a King
Yes.
and it was a Nemo. I did them both.
Yes,
and
you
crushed
did
them
bo- you
both.
did
And
it
it was
both.
very obvious.
Did it
okay?
both. So, all right, out the gate, because we got a short up front so we can have more time with Orlando in the back end. But that sounded dirty.
No, you get a full hour. I have a full hour in my contract.
Fallout. Have you seen Fallout, man? God, tell me you've seen
saw
Fallout.
Fallout episode 1. I am a man of, you see how tan I am? I fucking go outside, all right?
You spend
I have
way
so
too much time outside.
Shit going on. Like,
First
you're
of all, you
lucky
spent
I
like
watched
5 days in
episode
Disney
1.
last week, so I don't want to hear it. You spend way too much time at Disney. That's the problem.
It's my kid's birthday. And what
Yeah.
do they do? We go to freaking Disney.
Hey,
Okay?
that's who told you to have kids. Anyway,
I'm sorry it impedes with you and your show.
right, you better.
But yeah, I
So-
saw the first episode. Fucking phenomenal. Amazon, like, just
They're killing it.
crushes it. They crush
Killing
everything
it.
they do. I've really never saw an Amazon show and I'm like, this is fucking hot garbage.
I don't like it. It's so good that it
And
baffles
it's a
me.
video game thing. You're like, oh, they're gonna fuck it up. Like, look at all the other ones. No,
It's
they
so
crushed it.
Damn good. It's so damn good. If you
They
guys are
probably like hired people that played the game
yeah,
and like had talent to write it, and then they just like told the executives to like, oh, just go in the corner.
pretty much stay the fuck away from us. Let us do everything.
Yeah, we'll do it.
What it is
We'll
is
just put your name on it, and you can take credit.
Amazon sees The Last of Us and they go, oh, wow. So if you do a faithful adaptation, it wins awards and makes a shit ton of money and brings in people. Oh, let's try that. And they get all the right people in place. And remember, I've been talking about this for a
Did it, though,
while.
with the comic book. They did it with the boys.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
this
like,
went off. They know
they,
what's up.
it's so, oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
I think what it is, the executives are just like, okay, we got, $100 million. You guys do you. Throw our names on this. Say we did whatever. Go to town.
Yes.
Wherever else, the executives are like, no, you know what I need in here? I need this. I need that. And this shit sucks dick. Because it's like, you've never seen nothing. You've been like, oh, I don't even own a TV.
Yes.
But I'm in charge of Netflix.
Scott, right on the ball says, I think it also helped that Todd Howard and Bethesda were heavily involved. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a critical decision on their part to have, the game creators involved. Shocking.
And to fucking listen to them.
Wow.
Like, Jeff Johns was a part of like almost every DC property. Did they listen to him? No.
Nah, yeah,
Did they make hot garbage? Yes, 100%.
100%. So, okay, won't go into spoiler territory. I will say, if you've seen the first episode, you get the premise, right? It's vaults and Fallout, whatever. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think they did a great
Dude,
job.
Walton, fucking what's his name? Walton?
Walter Goggins,
Goggins. That guy, God.
so good.
He's like the
So
new
good.
Gary, he's the new Gary fucking Oldman, man. He's such a great
So
character
good.
actor.
And if you've
He's
only
like
seen
in
episode
everything,
one,
and he always does fucking awesome.
if you've
Nobody
only seen
knows his
episode
name.
one,
Everyone's like, "Who the fuck's that guy?"
Yeah.
Oh, he's from.
they know his
fucking,
face. They know his
Yeah.
face. They don't know his name. You get it mixed up with the Mayhem guy from Allstate. Let's say.
Nah, that guy doesn't have talent. Everyone only knows him from Oz.
Yeah. No, so the thing with Walter Goggins, killed it, crushed it.
Crushed it.
Like again, episode one was just a take. Like it, he. Oh man, just watch. Just wait till the rest of it's so good.
Brotherhood
So
of Steel. Ugh.
what I was saying is that like they really captured the essence of the game, right? The factions, like you mentioned, the characters, the vault life, the idea of all this, like beyond just
Well,
like,
even
oh, here's
the trail. Like at the end of episode one, they had the preview,
Mhm.
and they had the dude, the fucking Nazi chemist from
Oh yeah.
Avengers and shit. He
Yeah.
created Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you guys are what do you say? Oh, you're from the vault. You guys are like rare or whatever, limited or whatever." And so it's like, yeah, people don't even know they're still around. They're like an endangered species. I think that's what he said. You guys are an endangered species.
Yes. So it's so good. It's so well done. The characters, there's great twists and turns. There's some really interesting cameos that again I won't spoil. But there's some really where you were like, oh shit, look who they got. There's really, really good cameos in there. One of the things I found most pleasing is again, besides just like cool, they used that prop in which everything looked amazing. The set design, the props, the wardrobe, everything top notch. I mean, so damn good. So I want to buy a Pip-Boy. They're selling them now. I want to buy one just because of how good they made it look in the show.
They made the Osprey work.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The
The fucking
vertibird.
Marine Corps hasn't been able to get them to work. And they're carrying around mech fucking warriors. Like
mech fighters.
250 years later. Those shits are still running. They don't run fucking now. They just came out.
Oh man, yes.
Like, we got them to work. We figured it out. Like, what the fuck? These
Yes.
shits crash every 10 minutes.
So no, yeah. So that's good. If you look at it from the perspective of okay, so we have three main characters, right? Like there's lots of side characters, but we have three main. We've got the ghoul.
Well,
Right. What?
because my wife's like, oh, how does it tie into the game? I'm like, well, in the game, there's not really like, I've only played, I think, 4 and 5.
3 and 4.
I didn't start at the beginning. So she's like, how does it tie in? I'm like, well, they kind of did their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's Fallout. Like the Pep Boys, the Pips, they just like made their own story and they incorporated.
So it actually does
favorite
fall within a
points.
canon. It does.
So it does have a canon? Okay.
So there is
Tell
a
the
canon.
people so people know.
For okay, from the 10,000 foot view, there is one universal canon. Now, much like in real life, imagine the nuclear war happened. A lot of the information you get can sometimes be skewed from who you're hearing it from, right? One group's going to say this happened, one group says that happened. But every Fallout from 1, 2, 3, 4, there was Fallout Tactics, Fallout Shelter, Fallout 76, all of the Fallouts, and this show fall within a timeline. This show is the latest in the timeline. I think it's what, 2297 or something like that.
So it's
So
like
it-
after that.
It's
last
after
game that
all the
bombed,
games, it's after
76 or
everything.
whatever.
Yep,
Okay.
it's after everything. Now, they did mention that Fallout 5, when it does come out, will take place after this show, canonically. But again, because all the games, like one is in DC, one is in California, one is in Vegas, one is so that's why they can be so different and not cross over storylines. Also, they're sometimes anywhere from 10 to 100 years apart in the timeline. Like there was even a DLC where you play the Battle of Anchorage, which they talk about in the show. At a point, they talk about the veterans who came back from the Battle of Anchorage when they fought the commies, the Reds in Alaska. That happened, and that's a DLC you can play from, I think, Fallout 3. There's a DLC called the Battle of Anchorage. So all this stuff really does tie in. Now, is it an adaptation from the game and all that? No, it's its own story within an established universe, which is awesome. And I think they did really, really good to capture. What I was going to say before was that one of the things I loved is when you play Fallout, one of the key elements, whether people realize it or not, is that there's a morality system, right? You can be good, you can be bad, you could be self-serving, right? You can be that middle anti-hero where like I'll do the right thing as long as I get paid. And they gave us 3 characters that represent that. The ghoul is just pure hedonistic, I'm just going to get after mine. Obviously, Lucy, the Vault Dweller, grew up to be good and I'm going to help people. And then you have the knight,
those rich people.
Exactly. And the morality, the high ground. And then you have the knight or Maximus, who's trying to be a knight. And he's that middle ground where he's like, I'm going to do the right thing, but it's really self-serving. It's really because he wants glory. He wants to be a hero. He wants these things and he's self-serving. So you have the 3 moralities playing out through the season, right? Like what happens when you're, blindly good? What happens when you're just only serving yourself? And what happens when you're that kind of moral ambiguity? So I don't know. I love it. I love it. I've seen the whole season. It is amazing. So well done. A season 2 hasn't been announced yet, but if there is anything good and holy in this world, we'll get 5 seasons. And not only do I want to see the continuation of this story, I was thinking to myself earlier, this would work so well, right? Where give us, if we follow this narrative, this story, but then separate from that, give us an anthology series, a horror series, where each episode is a different vault. It's the history of a different vault, right? Like, let us see what happens in Vault 22 and Vault 97 and Vault 108. And each episode is like a beginning to, like, it could be the early days, it could be the later days, it could be the middle days, whatever. But like how, because we know, anybody that's played Fallout or seen the series knows that like there are very few control vaults. Most of them have these wicked experiments, which I will give them credit. Again, not to spoil, but just to say that something this show gave fans of the series, they gave them some answers. Because even within the Fallout universe of games, it's never really clear who started the war, right? Who dropped the first nuke? Was it us? Was it them? It's never really clear why are these vaults, like we know the vaults are doing these weird experiments and it's always to further, vault techs, whatever, but really why? Who made those decisions? Why? Not to say we get all the answers.
Classic we give in to big people do what corporations tell them to do.
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
Why do you buy the new iPhone every year? Because it's 1,000.
Because my overlords demanded it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If they're like, oh, you got to protect yourself from China and Russia, buy these vaults, otherwise you're gonna die. And all the Kardashians and everyone's like, it's this cool thing. Do it. Look at my vault. Oh, it's all pink. It's all whatever. People will buy it. People are sheep, and they're consumers because they don't know any better. Like that's all most people know. They know what they see on TV and what they see online.
Yep.
And it's just like an exaggeration of that fact with the vaults or whatever. So it's like, yeah, you buy it. It's like all the shows, like what was the other one? We had the guy ML's brother on, where he does the show where you can go in the afterlife and shit.
Uploaded?
His cousin uploaded. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like that, where you buy your afterlife, you upload your memory. It's like that type of shit.
Yeah.
But no, they did, like, that'll be awesome. And I want to see what happens before, even when they start it. Like, I'm only on episode 1.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see
the flashbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, when and dude's the cowboy at the birthday party, and
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, you can even do shit before then, like,
Yeah, you
but
could do a like Fear the Walking Dead. You can start
yeah,
pre bomb drop, and you know, again, I don't want to spoil it, but there are more little flashbacks of pre
snippets.
war time, so you have more to look out for that. Scott said, "Seeing the production value gives me great hope for 40K." That's true. It was a new Fallout game, in my opinion. It was like watching a new Fallout game. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
He said, "I heard season 2 is confirmed. Not officially. Not officially. It's not confirmed yet, but we're hoping for any day
yeah,
now. We should be getting the word.
they'll do it. That
Hey, you
shit's
have
gonna
to.
be it's
You
well,
have to.
like, what else they have? You can't just run The Boys nonstop.
They're trying. They're spinning it off 6 different ways. So
Yeah,
they're
but it's like it's
trying.
not gonna work. Like it worked with Walking Dead, it's not gonna work. Okay, you can only watch so much. Like, okay, I'm a Marine, but I can only take so much dick. Okay,
Can only
it's
get.
like
There's
every
only so
fucking
much.
season, I just looking at dicks like in different scenes. Like it's like
Yeah.
okay,
All right.
cool.
Well, you're not
Let's
going to see this,
give
and
me
I'm not.
some nuclear fucking mayhem. Okay.
You're not going to see this because I don't have you thing, but I'm going to show everybody else at home. During one of the later episodes, we see a map of what is a pin location of where all of the vaults are. So somebody went in, let me share this, and they basically overlaid a map of the US as it is now, because remember, their map's a little different because it's separated into 13 commonwealths instead of states.
Where's this one? This one's Cali, right?
Yes, this one takes place
I'm
in California.
assuming it's
Correct.
Cali, right?
Yeah,
I was like, it's either California, like the pier over there, or is it Jersey?
yeah,
Lansing? I think it's Cali.
it's in the Hollywood Hills. That's remember because that's
Hollywood.
where the cowboy was. He was in Hollywood. He was an
Yeah,
actor.
that's what I figured.
So in this map, we see in the show you only see these lights kind of on a board, but it obviously represents where the vaults are in the states. So for those of you at home playing along, if you want to see if there's a vault nearby you, you can go ahead and look at this map. And we got a bunch of vaults in California, in Texas. I think there's one in Miami, one in it was the Panhandle of Florida. So that's got to be what's the capital again?
Panama, or well, like, it would probably be
Panama.
Panama City, but the capital's Pensacola.
Yeah, Pensacola. Obviously a bunch in DC, which we know from Fallout 3. Fallout 4. Where does Fallout 4 take place? That's God, I'm drawing. Oh,
So
Boston,
Vegas.
the Boston area.
Awesome.
Because there's Fallout New Vegas, which again I'm not gonna tease nothing, but
I did
no.
Boston.
They did Boston in Fallout 4. They did DC in Fallout 3. They done Fallout New Vegas. So there's still a lot of room to be covered because they think
And
they
don't go looking for vaults, people. You'll find a real one. Those people are fucking crazy. Okay.
Yeah, those are the different
They're all
type of
hopped up
show.
on Fox News and shit, and they're fucking. Next thing you know, you're getting shot, and you're like,
Shit.
"Oh, CQ told me there's a vault near me." Well, we didn't say go look for a fucking vault, okay? These people are crazy. If you have a vault, you most likely are unstable.
Yes, those you don't want to be around those people. So anyway, speaking of Fallout, I think the majority of this was shot in Canada because they have really good tax breaks and things like that.
Jesus Christ.
Now, here's an interesting story. I read that Fallout as a series, could see a location shift if season 2 is to go ahead because the California Film Commission has awarded Amazon a $25 million in tax credit incentive, offering them to film in California. So
because they need that money.
They-
No one's
they-
filming there because it's
yeah.
so expensive.
they
Same
I think
reason
they
no one
realize.
films here. Too expensive. You
Yeah.
gotta have like hurricane insurance. So we get hurricanes like 4 months out of the year, but you have to have it year round. Like, get the F out of here.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it would be a great move for them.
Yeah, bring
Obviously,
that shit back. Give Americans freaking money, man.
yeah.
USA made,
bring-
baby.
Bring jobs back to America.
Yeah.
One other mention, and you haven't gotten to this point in the series, but at one point there's a commercial playing, and they give a number. They give a phone number, and it seems like a very fake number. But all I'm going to say is you can really call that number, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but don't call that number. That's all I'm going to say about that. Don't call the number.
Call like the what's his Kim Jong Un? Hello, why you calling me? God damn America!
All I'm going to say is the number 213-258-2858. Don't call it. Again, that's 213-258-2858, which was given to us by the show. Don't call that number. It's a Los Angeles based number, and
everything you tell me not to do, I have to do.
Don't call. Don't call it. I'm just letting you know. Don't call it. I just
totally calling it. You tell me not. You specifically, you don't do it. I'm fucking doing it.
I mean, don't do it. So okay, moving on from that show to another great Amazon Prime show, Invincible. The second half season of Invincible is out. So good.
Crushing it.
So good.
Crushing it.
I'm upset because there was that large gap between the first half of season 2 and the second half of season 2. I get it. It's an animated show.
They gotta draw everything. Yeah, it takes a while to draw stuff. Okay, it's not fucking easy, especially when you're, you need 100 people and they had a strike and all that bullshit.
Yeah. Brittany says, say the numbers slower. Wait, one last time.
I forgot we had a military audience. Oh, you're in the Marine Corps?
One last time for the number you should not call.
For the ASVAB waivers.
Do not call 213 258 2858.
258 2858.
Got it. He's got it. I wonder, can I put it in the chat? Let's see if I can put it in the chat. I'm just.
What is it going to?
I'm trying
to get hacked.
I'm trying to tell people don't call this number. 258, and then it's was it 2858? Let's see if it goes. Let's see if it goes through. But there you go. I just put it in the chat to warn you guys not to call that number. I put in the chat. That way you know not to call that number. Anyway, moving on. So Invincible. Oh, God. Great season. Oh, great season.
Oh, yeah. They literally like follow the comic, which is fucking...
I think in some aspects they improve
Kirkman is a fucking asshole. Like, we've interacted with him, and he's a fucking total douchebag.
Douchebag. All the way. Through and through.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't care if whatever he's coming on the show. Yeah, tell him like, fuck you. You're an asshole. You have no people skills, and you're a cocky little prick. Okay.
I mean,
you need you should appreciate the people that buy and read your shit, and he just doesn't give a fuck. Like his shit doesn't stink.
Okay.
But anyways, my personal fucking interactions and experiences with the guy. But aside from that, like he's a really good writer, and he does really good work.
Yeah. I think he's like the Stan Lee of our generation in that he's a good world builder.
Stan Lee is fucking a phenomenal people person. He loves and appreciates it. I think it's because he struggled for years and years and years.
Yes.
Like he wrote all this shit and he made no fucking money.
For like 40 years.
Yeah. He was like in fucking New York, which is like the most, like the dude's like sucking dicks to like, oh, read my comic book. And he's like,
rest in peace.
He had to really work to get, his shit seen or whatever. They're like, I got a guy, it's a Spider-Man. And, he's like fucking jerking a dude off to get this shit published. Robert Kirkman just shows up and he's like, oh, it's a fucking hit. I got a bunch of money. Like, fuck you guys.
I will say, I agree with most everything you're saying. And there's a small modicum of me that goes, well, if you were mid-20s and you made The Walking Dead, followed by Invincible, followed by, Thief of Thieves, followed by like 1,000 Bullets, which has just been hit after hit after hit after hit. And then not only to have these massively successful comics, that then become live action shows.
Yeah, they're just
Spin-off live action
throwing
shows.
money at
Then
you.
cartoon,
Yeah, you're
like
gonna be like a dick. I would be a dick too. Like, yeah,
millions.
you get like one episode of this show blows up, and they're like, Mike, fuck, Mad Mike, like here's a fucking $10 million. Yeah, I'm gonna be a huge fucking asshole too.
That's
Like,
what
I
I'm
don't blame him. Like, I have no,
That's
like,
sick.
I just like. If I come up to you and I'm like, oh, whatever, you know, blah, 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 I'll be like, yeah, thank you or whatever. And if you're a dick to me, I'll be a dick to you. But like, the
Yeah.
guy's just a dick constantly.
Yeah.
I guess that's, I don't know.
I mean,
Is that how I am? I think that's like you dealing with me on a regular basis. You kind of like that already, Mike, and you have no fucking money.
Yeah. See,
That's probably why I don't like him, because he's the same as I am.
it's like looking in the mirror. Greg has the perfect comment.
Spitting image with his beautiful big fucking beard, you bitch.
Mike, Greg has the best comment. Mike's a dick and he has no shows or comics. So can you imagine if he had money?
Yeah, if I was successful or good at something, fuck.
He'd be the ghoul. He'd be the ghoul, man. He'd just be a radioactive prick in the wasteland.
No, but like, God.
Yeah.
And the guy's fucking like he does great work.
I
I've
mean,
never read a bad comic that he's written. So like, and I really fucking wish, like, Thief of Thieves is my favorite fucking comic book that he
Great
did. And I
book.
really wish that I think it was
It's
AMC
coming.
was going to do the show.
It's coming. It's coming. You have hit after hit after hit. It's coming. It's absolutely coming. And
It's
now,
just who wants to buy it and
Yeah.
risk it? Like, fuck it, Ryan. Go to Ryan Reynolds. That guy does anything. He's doing fucking soccer. God damn, the fucking no one in America likes soccer.
yeah, he made
Like
it popular.
like,
He's
I
making it popular.
only like it because I have to coach my kids in this shit. And all my family's from Europe, but it's like, yeah, go to him. He'll make that shit and make $25 billion more and whatever.
Yeah. So and here's something that's so funny. You already have a comic book that is so massively popular. Then you have a show that is now so massively popular, which then makes the comic books way more popular. They even have some mobile games out that are free to play, and those are supposedly pretty good. They just announced. Now, remember, Skybound is the company that owns the properties of all these. And Skybound Entertainment just announced they're doing a crowdfund campaign because they want to develop a AAA game set in the Invincible universe. So,
Really?
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So, but
They
they're
haven't made enough money. They want to get the fans to pay for it.
but this is
Like,
genius.
The guy came to you with a comic book, and then you couldn't afford color ink. The Walking Dead was done in black and white because they couldn't afford.
It was
color
stylistic
ink.
choice. It was stylistic choice.
No, they were like, no,
We can't afford color.
we're not gonna use color. We're gonna use black and white.
It's
Like,
a lot
you get
cheaper.
black and white, and
lot
we'll
cheaper.
see where this goes. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like now they're like, okay, can you fund a game for us because we haven't made enough money off this shit.
But listen. This is why, and it's a fair point. That's
I love
a
it.
valid
Like,
point.
Game recognizes game. Like, good job. You do you, player. Like, fuck. People will pay for it. People
Hey.
pay. What was it? Potato salad. People paid fucking like $1 million for some potato salad shit. Like go for it, man.
So this okay. So here's the thing.
Meanwhile, hey, did you put the Patreon? Run the Patreon on the bottom of the fucking page before you say this shit. We're struggling here. God damn, we can't power CQ's.
Can you see what we got going on here?
We can't power CQ's teleprompter.
So okay, all valid points. But let me just counter with this: is that they have made a shit ton of money, and they could easily partner with a software company. They can partner with EA or Ubisoft or whoever.
Microsoft, PlayStation.
And then, but smart on them is that you lose a little bit of creative licensing because the game developers are gonna go, well, we got to do it this way because, and you can't really say nothing. And then B, you're having to split the acclaim. You have to split the money, all that, because that goes to the makers of the game. So their intent of crowdfunding is they want to start a studio. Like they want to start a gaming studio. They're going to make this their own gaming studio. And obviously their first big project is this AAA Invincible Universe. And so we want to make this. They're like, Robert Kirkman is directly involved. The team behind the comic are directly involved. We want to make it in-house so that it is true to that universe. And it is, and they're like,
What
this
what
would be
else does like what else is from Skybound?
Walking
Like
Dead,
I only
uh,
know Robert Kirkman
Invincible.
properties.
Yeah, all the Robert Kirkman
Let
properties.
me Google it. Yeah, but what else do they have? Like, yeah, that's all you freaking need. Like,
Yeah.
really, when you come
Yep.
down to it. But it's like, do you have another property?
Yeah. I mean, yes. And Scott, that's fair. He goes, yeah, but just remember, Suicide Squad was a AAA game.
Yeah, but it was. That's the studio. They just rehashed, Arkham Knights, basically, is what they did. Gotham
Yeah.
Knights, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so the reason I brought this up is the crowdfunding launched today. Now, they've already raised, they said internally they had already raised $18 million. Like that was through private funding. They had already raised that. So they go, this is just, to add on to that. And this is a way that people can get directly involved. Like you could help raise money to build this great game.
A lot.
They set their goal to $50,000. I swear to God, this is true story.
Really?
They set the goal
Well,
at
make a
50,000.
game 50,000? Really?
Well, man, they've already secured 18 million. They're
That's like
already
the intro. Like that's like you have start, pause.
that just loads the game. That just loads the game. That's the loading screen. But anyway, so they set the goal of 50,000, right? Which I guess they really underappreciated what their fans are gonna do. It launched today. When I tell you the last time I checked, a little bit earlier today, they are past 470,000. So they're at almost 500,000 day one. Day one.
And that's probably just the higher stat. I don't know what they're using for. It could just be publicity. Like, oh, we'll just like we're gonna create our game or whatever. Regardless, we'll throw this out there for publicity and we'll use it for whatever. You'll probably give away like 10,000 copies of the game for I would hope.
I mean,
something
who knows?
Like that. Oh, maybe they'll take my advice. Maybe one of the 5 people watching are from there.
So
they'll give away a bunch of the games or something. Like use that money for something good.
So I briefly looked over because this wasn't on Kickstarter. There's a new crowdfunding thing that's called Republic. Their platform's a little bit different. Their platform isn't, hey, donate money and then you'll get a reward like a free download of the game. What Republic does is you are basically buying ownership into this property. So what happens is there's a certain allotment and they'll say like for every $100, you'll get, I don't know, whatever it is, 10,000 points, right? And then it maxes out at like, I think it's like 50,000 points or some, so I guess $500 would be like a max out. But with those points, think of it like almost like stock options.
Yeah.
So if that company ends up going crazy, you end up getting money back. You're investing into this, and so you're owning obviously a fraction, a decimal of a fraction, of it. But like that's the platform thing is like, hey, you will own part of this, much like a stock, a private stock.
Well, man, that's worth it because the game like shoots to the thing, and then you'll get a bunch of money or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that. So again, I can see why. And so as I was reading through the stuff on this website, something that caught my eye that hasn't officially been announced is because they were talking about Invincible and they were talking about how popular it is and 100% Rotten Tomatoes and talking about all these things. And they alluded to the fact that we're going to get a lot more. Now, for those that don't remember, season 1 and 2 were greenlit as a pair. After the success of season 1, we obviously had that big pause to season 2 because of the writer's strike and actor strike and all this other stuff going on. But they had greenlit season 3 already. So we're good till season 3, but nothing official past that. Well, in their little post and sharing their information, they already said we are already working on season 4 and 5 of Invincible. So, they kind of beat Amazon to the announcement, but we know we're getting a season 4 and 5 of the Prime Invincible. So they said basically they're locked in for an order. So Yeah, I mean,
I don't blame them. It's freaking phenomenal, and they're
it's a
doing a
great show.
great job.
Great show.
And I
Speaking,
love when they do fucking cartoon shit. Like, it's a medium that needs its due. Like
yes,
I draw, as you know. So like I appreciate when people do. I love the animated shit. It's
yeah,
freaking hard shit to do. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. Like that's why like the stupid Disney shit that's all digital, it takes 3 to 4 years to make one of those animated movies. The Pixar movies you watch, it's 3 to 4 years of work. Like that's a lot of shit for a cartoon. Like
no, and
and then
obviously we've
people
had a
just
lot of.
shit on it in like 10 minutes. Like it's fucking garbage. Like fuck that shit.
This
No,
wasn't
they
my
put a
favorite
lot of
thing.
work into it, and that's one thing that like that's what kept DC alive was their animated shit. Was It's been on point forever. I mean, they do some weird shit like like the Gaslight bullshit and all that
Yeah,
ninja nonsense, but they've been doing great work for years.
it's
So
fair. Fair
it
point.
takes a lot of talent and a lot of effort, and it's just like an underappreciated. Like people love anime. It's like that shit takes a lot of time too.
Yeah,
But
they're
we're doing it here,
but
and
they bump
nobody
those
gets
things
their
out
due
though.
recognition.
Those anime
Well,
shows,
because
they
they pay
do.
them like 2 cents an hour, and they're in a fucking hot ass room just
Yeah.
drawing pictures all
Let's
day.
say those shows have new episodes every day because them dudes are just bumping that shit out.
Well, they have nothing out there.
They're
Like that's
they're
slave,
it's
that's
so
slave
crazy.
labor. Okay, we
Yeah.
don't talk about that. Here
Um,
we have rights, and people have to take.
there's
breaks.
laws, labor laws, and things. So Scott asked, does crowdfunding count towards the purchase normally? So again, depending on what platform you're using, typically, if you're on like a Kickstarter, which is kind of started the whole crowdfunding craze, I'm gonna draw a comic book. I'm gonna sell the comic book for if you donate $10, you'll get a digital copy. If you donate $20, you'll get a physical copy. That's up to me as the creator of the fund of the program to say what will you get for donating what amount of money. Technically, I could say, hey, I'm doing this thing and you're gonna get shit. Just give me money. And most people aren't gonna donate to that. But if you incentivize them, that's the idea.
That guy that
Don't do it.
It was
Don't
like
do
the
it.
beer. No, he was a musician and he did the comic.
I'm
And
gonna
he
say you're
had
gonna
like
start poking fun at me, and I'm
no,
not
I
here for
fucking
it.
bought the shit. Like whatever. It's called like beer goggles or
Yeah,
I don't know. It was like first season shit or whatever. He was
Yeah.
a musician and he had a bunch of artists create a comic or do comics to his music, and it was tiered. So like the first tier was a digital thing,
Mhm.
and for like $10, if you give
Man, that's
$25, you got a trade paperback.
that's
I
a
did like
throwback
50.
to a
I did
early
like
time.
50, and I got a record, and I got the book and all that. And
Dude, you're throwing it back
I
to
did
like
it
season
just
1.
for you. It's in my thing. Like there was only like 1,000 of them made, and it took like 6 months to get.
You're
They all
tossing
do
it
that.
back, way
Like
back
it's
to
always
season
like
1.
that. It's like digital. You get a physical thing, and then the more you give, the more you get. Like
Right.
if you give like $10,000, the dude's like sucking your dick or something.
All right. So moving on. So moving on. So
You
real quick,
got a Robert Downey
wait.
Jr. Avengers poster somehow.
So we got a couple more minutes before our guest
Cocaine is a hell of a
arrives.
drug.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed our guest arrives because you never know.
I think he
these.
just canceled.
Yeah, he's just canceled. We got to talk about X-Men 97. My
Jesus
God. Doing it
Fucking awesome
right.
show. I've always said it my whole life. Fucking X-Men is
X-Men.
like the
Doing it right.
perfect. It's the guy. It's the gateway drug to comic books. So like, oh, like pot. They were like, oh, pot's a gateway drug. Like that's the
No.
fucking X-Men animated series.
X-Men
You're like, you watch
97.
that shit. Next thing you know, you're mainlining fucking Avengers comic books and Batman comic books and shit. You're like shooting them up your butthole and stuff.
Oh man,
That was like the gateway for comic books for kids in the 90s. You watched X-Men animated series and you're
Spider-Man the animated
like,
series.
fuck no.
Oh,
Nobody I know says shit about
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
was
You're
the
the only
shit.
person in the world that
Spider-Man.
I haven't even seen Spider-Man until a fucking Disney Plus had it on there. And I watched it.
Spider-Man.
sleep. I watch X-Men and I'm like fucking ready to like yeah, let's go.
Just want to headbutt somebody.
Fantastic Four, shoot that shit right here, man.
Spider-Man was the shit. Also, what was it Gargoyles? Gargoyles. That was the
it's
jam.
X-Men by and far fucking best and fucking This shit just makes me want to punch someone in their fucking mouth. You got Wolverine.
There you go.
Gambit. They made Gambit fucking cool. You got a chick that just beats the fuck out of everyone.
Scott says Spider-Man animated series was the only good Marvel animated series. So there you go.
Delete him, block him.
Yep. Sorry, that's everybody. Peter's in there. Says Spider-Man all the way. You stand alone. Look, I've said X-Men was a great
I'm
series.
on top of the hill. I will fight you.
I will
fight you. Bring it on. It's the
X-Men
best
was a
ever.
great series.
X-Men
all I'm saying
seasons
is
1, 2, and they fell off towards the end,
like all shows.
There was controversy and whatever.
Yeah, all shows are like that.
They brought it back with a vengeance. They're doing Spider-Man? No, they're doing Spider-Man Amazing Friends.
I mean, fair enough. We're good. Oh man, Greg says I never agree with Mike. I may have to reevaluate things.
It's wrong. That's what it is.
Oh man. So yeah. So needless to say, it. So for everybody at home, we're all caught up.
All levels.
Mike hasn't seen episode 5.
4.
He has not seen episode 5. So he doesn't know what's coming. He has no idea.
I know it gets better. It's a slow stroke.
We gotta talk after you watch episode 5. Hit me up because we gotta talk because that's
what happened was I was waiting because I told my daughter, I'm like, you gotta watch. This is the best shit you'll ever watch in your life. So she's on like season 3 now.
Oh my god, you're gonna wait did you catch through all the seasons?
And I was like, I can't wait because CQ was gonna spoil it for me eventually.
Probably.
So I just started watching it. I was like, I'll watch it again. It's gonna be phenomenal. And yeah, so if you can make Cyclops, I fucking hated my whole life.
Yes.
That's why I like when they did James Marsden as Cyclops. Like, that's the best casting ever because he's a fucking total douchebag. Like, why is he in the X-Men? He's the nerd. Like, he's a fucking nerd. Like, he's the gear queer in the middle. Like, I got this. Look at my visor. I shoot a little laser beam.
They showed him. They gave him some love. They gave Cyclops
big, hairy,
some love.
Strong grunt guy's taking my girlfriend. Oh, I don't know why he likes her better.
We need to talk after episode 5.
I give him all the credit. They're like, yeah, let's make him a badass.
Yeah.
He shoots a fucking nuclear beam from his eyes. Why wouldn't he be a badass?
So, funny enough, since we've got a minute or two here before the break, I was fascinated by this because there's now like a lively debate on TikTok about the powers of Scott Summers, of Cyclops.
Really?
Where everyone readily assumed he shot lasers out of his eyes, which is not correct.
Not correct.
They're what are considered optic beams. It's more energy. It's not heat. It's energy. But apparently, and this is to the actual Marvel continuity, he does not actually shoot beams from his eyes. What happens is this sounds like the craziest thing ever. His eyes are portals to another dimension that is filled with this
plasma or whatever.
Plasma beam energy. So when he opens his eyes, he's just opening a portal basically from his face to another. And the nickname of this dimension, by the way, is called the punch dimension, which I don't know how you call it the punch dimension, but that's just
but his brother does it's with his hands. He does it with his hands.
Yeah. So
that's what I was interested in, and maybe you could tell me. Does Nathan do anything, or is that just a moot point?
Does Nathan
His kid, does he do the punch portal shit, or do they go into that, or not?
Are you asking me in the comics, or are you asking me in the series?
In the series, yes, in the series, X-Men '97.
I thought you watched episode 4. I thought they resolved that in episode 4.
So I'm on episode, but
So you must be on episode 3.
3, Mr. Sinister, and then he puts him in the green goo, and
yeah, they rescue him at the end.
Last one I seen, yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, so he dies. Episode 4. Got it.
He doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't die.
He's not in after episode.
He doesn't. I'll just say he doesn't die, but
he's not relevant anymore. Got it. Nailed it. Jesus Christ.
There's more reasons to hate.
To watch shit before I talk about it.
This is another. It's just there's more reason to hate Scott Summers. That's all I'm saying.
He eats him to absorb his power. Got it. Needed them stem cells.
He shoved the baby through his eye portals and sent him to the punch dimension.
I need more punch. Stem cells, baby.
Oh, stem cells. Gotta love them. Alrighty. Well, very, 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 very excited for our guest, who looks like he's going to be joining here in any second. We are so very excited for our guest tonight. We're going to toss it to a break, ladies and gentlemen, and when we come back, we'll have the amazing Orlando Jones with us. Mike, we will see you after the break, bud.
Yep, as the contract says.
As the contract says. All right, guys, we'll see you in a few minutes. Stand by.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.